The film opens in space amidst the wreckage of the USCSS Nostromo. A probe from the Weyland-Yutani Corporation picks up a sample from the ship's remains. A team of researchers then take the remains of the xenomorph with them for further studies. On the Jackson Star mining colony, orphaned Rain Carradine works alongside her synthetic human, a malfunctioning android named Andy, whom she refers to as her brother. Rain tries to get out of her mining contract, only to be told it has been extended by 6 years. Rain then watches as some delinquent kids beat up Andy, forcing her to fix him up. Moments later, Rain receives a video message from her ex-boyfriend Tyler to bring Andy for a secret mission. Rain and Andy arrive at Tyler's base where they join his sister Kay, their cousin Bjorn, and his girlfriend, the crew's pilot Navarro. The crew plans to break into a derelict Weyland-Yutani ship to steal cryostasis pods that would safely take them to the planet Ivaga, which would take 9 years to travel to. They specifically need Andy since he can access the ship's terminal since he was also made by Weyland-Yutani. Rain isn't completely on board for fear that they will get in trouble, as well as them wanting to use Andy for something dangerous. But Tyler convinces her to join them. The 6 board a mining craft, the Corbelan, and fly above Jackson Star where they see the sun as close as they possibly can. They then arrive at the station, which is divided into 2 sections, Romulus and Remus. Andy joins Tyler and Bjorn as they head to find the pods. Meanwhile, Rain tries to take care of Kay after she vomits. Rain figures out she is pregnant by some guy, but Kay asks Rain not to say anything to Tyler. On their search for the pods, Bjorn acts like a jerk towards Andy, which is explained by Navarro to Rain as anger because Bjorn's mother died inside a collapsing mine because a synthetic chose to sacrifice her and 2 others to save more than a dozen other miners. When they get to the pods, they find that there are only 5, since Andy was never intended to go to Ivaga because they have rules against synthetics, and that there is only enough fuel for 3 years in cryostasis. The guys then find a lab where Andy stops Bjorn from walking into a huge hole, and they also find the top half of another synthetic. The guys walk further until they enter a room that they get locked inside as the ship undergoes a lockdown. Nearby, a whole wall full of frozen facehuggers start to thaw out. Rain and Navarro go to help the guys while Kay rests. They find the synthetic, which briefly jerks back to life before Rain removes its module to replace the one Andy has. Tyler does so, and Andy takes a moment to reboot. The facehuggers then start jumping into the water, with one of them nearly getting onto Bjorn's face. Rain tries to break the door open while Andy wakes back up and stops a facehugger from getting Tyler. The guys flee the room, but the facehuggers start rapidly crawling after them. The crew seals the door, but Navarro gets a facehugger latched onto her. While the crew tries to remove the facehugger from Navarro, Andy reboots to become more focused and loyal to Weyland-Yutani. To figure out how to help Navarro, the crew hooks up the dead synthetic, Rook, and get him to come back to life. He explains that they are basically all doomed because they are about to come face-to-face with a xenomorph. Rook points out the corpse of one xenomorph, the same one that attacked the Nostromo and was thrown out of the airlock by Ripley, and how the researchers of the Romulus were killed by it, when it was discovered to still be alive until it was shot dead, but its acid blood wrecked what was left of the ship. Rain then proposes that they freeze the facehugger's tail to get it off Navarro. It works, and she wakes up, but Rook makes it clear that she is still doomed due to what's going to come next. Bjorn and Navarro start to make a run for it onto the Corbelan. Navarro starts to feel unwell and uses an X-ray flashlight to see that a chestburster is forming inside of her, which Kay can see. Navarro collapses and begins foaming at the mouth before the chestburster blows out and kills her in front of a horrified Kay. Before dying, Navarro's convulsions cause her to kick a lever that causes the Corbelan to crash into the Romulus's hangar bay, sending it heading towards the Jackson Star asteroid belt with less than an hour before impact. Rain and Tyler proceed to the hangar while Rook talks to Andy about their objectives as Weyland-Yutani synthetics. Andy rejoins them, and they try to increase the temperature in the station to make themselves less visible to the xenomorphs. Once they enter, they find the corpses of the Romulus crew. Meanwhile, Kay and Bjorn attempt to get out safely. They come across the xenomorph that came out of Navarro, and Bjorn tries to fry it with a cattle prod, but it starts to leak its acid blood onto him, slowly burning and killing him until a big enough glob drops onto his chest to finish the job. Kay contacts Tyler as the xenomorph goes after her. She makes it to the others outside of the hangar, but Andy knows that the xenomorph wants them to open the door so it can kill all of them, and he refuses to help Kay, despite Rain's protests, inadvertently letting Tyler know that his sister is pregnant. The xenomorph grabs Kay and pulls her out of sight. Rain slaps Andy out of anger but quickly feels remorseful. Now focused on his directives per the company's interests, Andy brings Rain and Tyler into the lab where they find a human-alien DNA mixture that Rook calls the Prometheus strain. A video is shown of a test done on a rat using the mixture, which caused it to heal from its original sickly condition. Andy gives Rain and Tyler M41 pulse rifles to arm themselves against the Xenomorph. As they leave, they fail to notice the rest of the rat video, which shows something horrifying growing out of it, while the end result is a dead rat-Xenomorph hybrid in its cage. The three walk through a corridor where they find Kay in a Xenomorph cocoon, unconscious but alive. Tyler almost injects Kay with the DNA sample to try and heal her, but Rain stops him and tries to get Kay on her feet to get back to the ship. The Xenomorph then grabs Tyler with its tail and kills him by ramming its second mouth into his face. Rain leads Kay to safety so she can get herself to the ship while Rain goes back for Andy. When Rain leaves, Kay injects herself with the sample. Rain finds Andy and removes the module so he can go back to his old self, but they are told by Rook that their efforts to escape will be hopeless. When they seem to give up hope, Rain gets an idea to shut off the gravity in the ship as a whole group of Xenomorphs start to come near them. As they begin floating, Rain fires her rifle at the aliens, killing them, but also spreading the acid blood all over the place, while Rain gets dangerously close to flying into it. She is able to move herself away using the rifle's recoil, but she eventually gets herself to safety. Rain and Andy end up going up the elevator, just as the gravity returns and Rain starts falling. The main Xenomorph catches her with its tail, but Andy comes down and kills the beast with Tyler's rifle, and he delivers the "Get away from her, you bitch" line before getting Rain out. Rain and Andy get back onto the Corbelan with Kay, just as the Romulus starts to come down onto the asteroid belt. Rook makes one final attempt to get Andy to follow the Wei-Yu objective of returning to the company with the sample, but they ignore him as he ends up destroyed along with the rest of the station. Rain puts Kay in a cryopod as they head toward Ivaga. However, Kay's vitals start to weaken as the DNA mixture is affecting her pregnancy. Her stomach has fully grown, and she is in the process of giving an extremely painful birth. Rain helps her as Kay produces an egg-like pod containing a human Xenomorph hybrid. Rain removes the egg, but its acid causes it to slip through the grates. She goes to try and arm herself to get help, but when she returns to Kay, the child has now fully grown to look like the engineers as it feeds off Kay's chest, killing her. It has also damaged Andy severely. Rain puts on a spacesuit as the temperature in the ship starts to drop drastically. She then tries to separate the cargo pod from the ship since the damage from the offspring's birth is causing it to fall towards the asteroid belt. Rain starts to pull the levers to drop the pod, but the offspring attacks her and tries to kill her. The two fall outside, hanging on for dear life, until Rain uses her harness to pull the last lever and send the cargo pod and the monstrosity into the belt to become space dust. Rain puts Andy in one of the cryopods. Before entering stasis herself, she records one final log on the way to Ivaga, uncertain of what they will find, but optimistic that she can handle whatever comes their way. Thanks for watching. If you watched Alien Romulus, please let us know what you liked most in the comments. If you liked this recap, please like and subscribe for more awesome movie recaps.